Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We are taking the newly EZA'd Strength Blue Goku into ESBR. I know the main kind of thing with ESBR, or no, not ESBR, but with Dokkan nowadays, is pretty much just, are they good in red zone? How good are they in red zone? Are they viable in red zone? Things like that. And don't get me wrong, I get it. But as I've kind of spouted on so many times in the past, ESBR is still viable content. I don't really make too many videos on ESBR anymore, just because a lot of the new units, like the new Dokkan Fest that drops, LRs that drops, anniversary units, worldwide units, the kind of the top EZAs, if they're viable in red zone, or the majority of red zone, they should pretty much be able to handle ESBR unless their kit really isn't good enough for it, which usually isn't the case. Then I typically won't make the videos. I am tempted to still make ESBR videos here and there, just because, as I said, ESBR is still viable. It's very much come down to, and again, I've said this a lot of the time as well, ESBR is pretty much kill or be killed. Like, you do a lot of damage in ESBR, but ESBR will do a whole lot of damage still back. You know, with this current batch of EZAs, you know, there's only a few of them that are somewhat viable. I mean, look at a Super Saiyan 4 Goku pretty much just take like 500k on all those basics. Kind of wild. But with the recent batch of EZAs, they're kind of a mixed bag of, like, a lot of them are quite meh, if we're being completely honest. And then, you know, there's a few that shine a little bit. You know, EZA Strength got Goku. There's also Int Beerus is pretty good. Int Whis is a very good support unit. EZA LR Beerus and Whis are very good now. You know, a lot of them kind of fall into that mid-tier bracket. So considering how this blue Goku is built, which is pretty much facing multiple enemies, we're in one of the most recent ESBR stages, which is Goku's family. Like, it's literally one of the most recent ones we've had. So it's going to be dealing a lot of damage. And since this Goku isn't viable for red zone, I mean, you could take him into the older red zone stages. I did it for his showcase, and honestly, it's just not difficult at all. So I'm just kind of like, what's the point? I'm going to take him into ESBR, because these are what some of these sub EZAs are for. Like, you're going to get a gem of a sub EZA that can be viable for red zone. You know, again, for example, a few of them from this recent batch can be used in red zone. Fizz SSJ Bardock from when Dokkan Fest Bardock came out, viable in red zone because of the guard, but only a handful of them sub EZAs are really actually going to be good for the likes of red zone and the harder content in the game. And ESBR is still harder content in Dokkan, it's just obviously not on that red zone level. So for these sub EZAs, considering this is kind of in the realm of where they lie for how good they are, you know, they're meant to become usable, which they now are for some of the more difficult content, whether that's like, you know, really hard burst mode or literally ESBR. That's kind of their level, and that's obviously no disrespect to the unit. You know, don't get me wrong, there was some wonky ones from the batch, let's not get it twisted, like, that's just the case. But sub EZAs are meant to be viable in the game, whereas beforehand they wasn't. And of course, a lot of their levels will fall at ESBR or slightly short of it. So I think it's still fair that we show off how good they can really be in difficult content, but difficult content that is on their level. So that's why I'm using this Goku in ESBR, because this is literally his domain. You know, he's got the 30% attack and defense raise on super. We do have an Icarus right now. Double digits, he is being supered as well. He's type neutral against Jeets. What's he taking on a super? That's a lot to take, but I mean, not too bad considering, you know, we literally just saw what in the last fight, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, like, and he's EZA'd with like what, massively raised attack and defense on 18 key. We literally just watched him take 100k per basic post super. So I'm not gonna lie, I can't actually really knock Strength Goku. Even with an item active, I can't really knock him taking, you know, about 200k on a super attack. I think that's kind of fair. But as I was saying, this is his domain. This is where he's going to be good when you're facing multiple enemies. As I said, you got the 30% attack and defense raise on super. You got the key +3 in attack and defense +150 at the start of turn. The additional attack and defense +50% on super attack. He then also has the medium chance of launching an additional super attack. I still really wish that was a 50 instead. It would have helped him out a lot as a sub EZA, especially to get that double attack and defense raise by 30%. It would have done him a world of good. It would have made like night and day difference, but would have helped out a whole lot. Not to mention as well, he's also getting that 30% crit chance. And we also have him rainbowed on top of that. But the extra 30% crit chance. So he can actually do some pretty good damage here, especially if he's hitting the additional in his passive. And then there's also the possibility of another one because we have dupes. And the 30% crit chance in his passive. And also again, I've got him rainbowed as well with dupes. So he can actually do some very good damage in the SBR. And perform really well here. And again, from a unit that was literally probably never used to now being viable in harder content. May not be red zone level, but now viable in harder content. He is now usable. And that's what a lot of sub EZAs will be. And I think some of us need to remember that of, yes, they won't be the next big EZA in the game, but they will be usable. They will be viable for harder content, but not quite red zone. There is still other modes in the game that they need to be good for, not just the new shiny Dokkan Fest LR or EZA that ends up being like one of the best units in the game. That's not always the case. And I still think it's good to showcase this type of stuff. I mean, he's doing really well right now. Said he could do a bag full of damage if those additionals are triggering, the crit is triggering in his passive. And then also, as I said, ESBR, because we're facing multiple enemies, is his domain. We get the additional attack and defense plus 70% and an extra 20% chance to crit on top of the 30 he's already got when your HP is at 50% or more. Obviously, it wasn't there when you're facing two or more enemies. Which, of course, ESBR, you're always facing 2 or more enemies from the start. So there is that. However, I will pop an Usher here, and then I'm probably going to heal... Actually, no, I'm going to heal now as well, so that way we have 50% HP or more going into next turn, so that way he will have the attack and defense and crit chance plus 30% going into next turn. It doesn't really matter who I hit here, but it doesn't... Actually, no, I was going to say it doesn't look like we can get super attacks off. Yes, we can. But so far, he's doing really well. I tried to not even bring, like, the best possible Goku's family team I could bring. I mean, that's kind of difficult, considering a lot of the better units in the game do kind of belong to Goku's family. I mean, it's no surprise. Goku is literally the main character. But he's doing well. As I said, when he's facing 2 or more enemies, he can do a decent amount of damage. Again, especially because of the built-in additional, the built-in crit chance up to 50%. And that's before we even consider this man has dupes. And also, he links very well with EZA Tech God Goku, of course, has his amazing damage reduction. Like, look, he literally links almost perfectly with him. So we've also got a fantastic setup on top of that. We do have some extra defense with an ATOS. We're up to 257k defense because of that. But that's okay. I will save those orbs for Goku so we can get his guard. And also we can do pretty much a decent bag of damage to Vegeta. But literally just has extra defense from the ATA, 250k, which in ESBR nowadays, which is also wild to say, that's also just not enough. Like, ESBR does so much damage, as we've been seeing, especially on Super. Even that amount isn't enough. So for a sub EZA to be very good in ESBR, it's still saying something. Like, it's still saying something. Come on, hit that additional. There's the crit, 2.7. No additional super. Dupe system, though. He actually got both, and he actually critted on every single attack, but no additional super. Double digits, though, with the 8 active. Of course, if he was hitting, even without the 8 active, if we had that same amount of HP, like, say if it was a Sensu being on the healing, and he hit 2 super attacks, maybe 3, that still would have been double digits. The amount of damage this Goku can do in ESBR is just actually just really good because of that built-in crit chance, especially if you get the total combined 50%. Like, it just means he's melting, like absolutely melting the enemy health bars, like just constantly ridding the enemies as much as possible, and more importantly, as quick as possible. Make sure you're in and out the fight, conserving as many items as you possibly can. And as I said, he links up very well with some very good units. I mean, Goku is the main one, of course. He's only really going to thrive if you're facing a movie boss or a pure Saiyan. So specifically in Goku's family, even though it is one of the more recent stages, you kind of luck out because you're facing Vegeta family units non-stop. He doesn't, however, have it against, of course, Trunks. So we do have to be careful with him. But in terms of other units this blue Goku can link to, he's got some good ones. He's got the LR Strength Carnival Goku, the Z Fighter one. There's 5 links with Birdku, 5 links with the Year 7 LR Gods, Shares 5 links with LR EZA Gohan. Also shares 5 links with, not as good nowadays, but you do have the Strength Goku Gohan exchange unit, the SSJ2 to SSJ3 Goku unit. Shares 5 links with Gogeta Blue, EZA Gogeta Blue once he's transformed. He even shares 4 links with Vegeta and Trunks. He even shares 4 links with the likes of... He also shares 4 links with Strength LR Gogeta Blue, who of course will get an EZA during the 8th anniversary. Shares 4 links with the new Dokkan Fest God Goku. Even shares 4 links with the Rage Vegeta that was the side banner unit. So he actually links really well with a lot of very good units. So he is very good. So we have no item active right now. We have 137k defense. We do have the HP threshold to be triggering a lot of the stuff we want to with him. If we die, I don't really mind because I'm not using an item on purpose just to see how much he tanks here, because we're now only facing 1 enemy. Big damage though. It's just we can't get an additional super attack to save our life. It would have been so good if we got the 3rd, because we might have actually done enough damage to kill Trunks. 25k though, not bad. Considering you only supered twice, which is only 2 30% defense raises, 25k is solid. That means on a 3rd, you're looking close to double digits. God Goku with the seal, but he's done really well. Like, he's a very solid EZA. And as I said, I still think it's worth showcasing sub EZAs, because this is their level, and to actually showcase how good they really are. I just think sometimes we get a lot really lost in, like, oh, is this unit viable in Red Zone? Oh, he's not. Okay, it doesn't matter. Because there's still other content in Dokkan. You know, if the new shiny Dokkan Fest wasn't viable in Red Zone, then yeah, I can understand uproar, because they need to be. But sub EZAs for units that have been out since like 2016, 2017, who are now usable, we need to put a little bit more respect on their name. But I like this Goku a lot. He could have some slight tweaks to make him better. I do think the main one would be having that 30% additional super chance to be 50 would help him out a bunch. But then his damage output would actually generally kind of be insane. But he's still pretty good. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. And peace.